All right, now on to how to actually process your Beemobile data. You're going to be using POSPac, so hit that, POSPac UAV. I have version 8.4, but I don't know if it actually matters how far back you can go. But POSPac is the software that combines the GPS data that you might have from a base station to the trajectory that you might have driven with a Beemobile on a car, flown it on a plane, helicopter. All right, let's hit new default project. And you'll notice this is going to be the easiest way of doing it. There's many other ways of doing it, but this is pretty much almost foolproof. So we'll go import and we will navigate to the folders that we created earlier, which means that was the 05, 15, 2020 was my first one. Highlight it, hit OK, and it should pull up only that one T04 file which is associated with that scan. Hit import. Depending on how much time has passed since you've actually scanned, you might have these download triggers that are in the program. Succeed, fail, it's just looking for satellite information, and I scanned the same day as I actually am processing, so it doesn't have everything published online. But we'll hit OK. Alright, so this is my actual drive. Started in the parking lot, left the parking lot, went across the bridge, made a U-turn and came back, so this looks okay. Alright, let's import my base data, and the base data, once again, it can be done from multiple sources, but I happen to have had my GPS base station sitting right there. It was the 136th day of the year, so that's my file download, and it should load right here. I called it bridge. It was sitting here for a little while. So now what you want to do is you want to actually specify this point which we just brought in as your base file. So we'll right click and set it as a base station. It should give you some kind of indication of how much time was actually on the scanner and on the GPS, how much noise there might have been in the solution. So we'll be closer to 100%, not always 100%, but 96.43%. That just tells you that the conditions were relatively cool and nice on that time. For the data collection, you'll see that the little icon for the bridge point changes. Now there's a little flag, blue flag on it. And if you did everything up until this point properly and you didn't make any blunders in the data collection itself, you should be able to just go ahead and hit the GNSS initial processor, and without changing any of these settings, we'll just hit run. And the program runs through matching the events that it recorded on the actual scanner with the trajectory of the GPS, and if it processes properly, you should have a refined line there. So you notice that this is before we processed. There was this line which tells you at every point it's tracking the position of the actual Beemobile, and the little green line that appears is the already post-processed trajectory. So you'll see that it's a little bit smoother at the end over here, because with a car I definitely didn't make a zigzaggy turn like that. It's more of a turn, U-turn over here and came back. So it tells you that it's processed. Also gives you a nice little indication that everything's okay, and you can expect, what is this, maybe 2-3 centimeter accuracy on the actual trajectory. Alright, at this point, if you're happy with this and it looks correct, what you have to do, save. And I like to do a little bit of data management over here, so we'll go into data. I have my Beemobile projects in a folder that I created myself in POSPac, and once again I will call it bridge 05 15 2020A. If you don't do this, it's not going to be a problem. It's just that you might have a harder time trying to figure out what did you do on what day. So I've gotten used to just calling my folder that and the project itself that too. So we'll hit enter, it saves my project. And now the last step that you want to take is you go into tools and you hit the little export button and you export the ASCII file. Hit export. It exports these files into the folder that we just created, so this should already be in the right location, and that's it. So now if I close, POSPac usually asks, do you want to do something with the data, and you can just say yes, but really not much should have changed. But now you have processed data. So next step is prepare for BFlex processing.